Hi, I'm Ryan Neal from the Vulgar Skill. This is going to be Chapter 20 of Godinho's Single Sword. This is a very interesting play and a very aggressive one, and it sort of relies on how swords actually cut. We tend to treat swords, especially in a sporting context, as lightsabers, where if somebody hits you lightly with the strong in period clothing, that's going to end a fight. We treat it like every blow is a fight ender. This is not really the case. We see, for example, Pallavicini actions where you'll just eat a cut to the leg because you stuffed the strong and it's not going to get through your silk stocking. And here, this requires a certain boldness of relying on and having good knowledge of how swords in fact cut. And that'll become clearer in a second. So Eric, come here. Thank you. This is my roommate Eric, and we're going to be discussing this play. We're established nails up, and in a peak of absolute boldness, my right foot goes to his right side, and I stab him nails down in the eye. So I'm going to go here, bang, and hit him in the eye. He says the sword remains over the crook of my elbow. One more time, it's just a quick entry, bang. You could somewhat maintain their sword sometimes with this quillin, but it's not necessary. You stab them in the eye. So there's a few counters to this action. One is named Balanzada, but we'll go over that in a future video, and there's a few other counters that Godinho gives. One obvious concern from this position, let's get in that position again. I enter, bang, is Eric's sword is right here. There's a deep risk if I just hang out here that Eric could at least be able to get kind of a slice. What I'm not afraid of is him just kind of pushing on my arm, or doing that. Not enough momentum, not enough speed. I'm wearing period clothing, I don't care. However, Godinho does talk about if he doesn't retreat, if the opponent doesn't just back up in panic, and let's say I've not killed him after stabbing him in the face. He says if he does not retreat, gain it, but just lowers the point of his sword, you gain it in the quillins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gain him in the quillins. And I'm going to continue to stab him, and now I can either direct it off my arm, or even though I can't get it off my arm, and he stays there, he can't draw cut me, and he's pulling me into him as I continue to shank him. Godinho doesn't have you grab often, but I contend in my interpretation that this is exactly what it's trying to prevent. That if he doesn't retreat and he's not dead, you basically give yourself insurance by seizing his quillins. I strongly recommend when he says quillins, you grab quillins. Do not grab hands, because if you grab his hand, he can do a lot of fun things. Those of you who do a little bit of small sword, this is one of my favorite weird small sword actions, is Eric goes ahead and grabs my hand. You just grab the blade of your sword and you start shanking him. That's in Girard, for those of you who may be curious. But bringing it back to the action, my action is just from here to explosively stab him in the eye. I'm obviously not going to go full bore on people because this tends to blast people in the head if you do it too hard and fast. And if you're in a sporting context and you want to prevent the afterblow, or if you're worried he's going to do that draw cut, quillins. So if he does get a bit of a draw, it'll be minimal, especially in period clothing. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe during the pandemic.